super fight. It sells out the Staples Center. You make a fortune. But as I've said in every interview, if you get Tank or you get Pacquiao, I can't argue. If you don't, I think you should consider Devin Haney, personally, because I think it's a massive fight for massive money, and if you believe you can win... Oh, I know. Yeah, but then you should take the fight. If you don't get those other fights. But okay, I respect you for chasing... But if I do get it? Oh, I respect you. And I say 100% that was the right move for you. But if you don't, I would like you to consider Devin Haney. Okay, I will.
Good fight, but I'm sorry, Devin. I would have KO'd you. He slapped you.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So Ryan Garcia is back, huh? The man that got our hopes up high, telling everyone, including Mike Tyson, that he was going to fight Tank Davis next. It went from Tank Davis to Manny Pacquiao to Javier Fortuna. And then surprisingly, the opponent turned out to be Anxiety. After about a week or two, he knocked out Anxiety, and now Ryan Garcia is back, ready for his next opponent. But after Devin Haney's performance this past weekend over Jorge Linares, I guess Ryan Garcia, he couldn't refuse to break his silence, and he finally had something to say. Ryan Garcia, he took to his Instagram account and he put up this image of Devin Haney and Jorge Linares, and the caption reads, "I would have slept you." So Ryan Garcia, now for those of you guys who aren't too familiar with the Ryan Garcia Chronicles, let me surmise this a little bit. Ryan Garcia is and was Devin Haney's mandatory. In fact, he was supposed to be fighting Devin Haney next, but he said instead he was going to fight Tank Davis. Then once again, it went from him saying he was going to fight Tank Davis to him announcing he's fighting Manny Pacquiao. Then it was announced he was going to fight against Javier Fortuna. Now he puts up this post saying that he would have slept Devin Haney, but he doesn't follow it up and says, "I want Devin Haney next. I want Devin Haney next. That's the fight that I want, etc., etc., etc." Why didn't he do that? What's the purpose of saying I would sleep you, but not push for the actual fight, right? You know, guys, I met Ryan Garcia a long time ago before he turned pro. I remember I was in California and I was covering the Gennady Golovkin media workout. Ryan Garcia, he came up to me. He told me he was a big fan of my channel. And, you know, I get a lot of fighters that say this kind of stuff, but the stuff that he said really stood out and got my attention because he gave me his credentials. And he said, yeah, you know, I beat Devin Haney in the amateurs. We fought like 5 times. You know, I beat him. I don't remember if he said it was 3-2 or, you know, 2-3, whatever. But he said he beat Devin Haney. And he also said that he fought Shakur Stevenson. So now I'm like, okay, this is somebody to really look out for, right? So I interviewed him that day and the rest is history. I can say this about Ryan Garcia. Ryan definitely has a good heart. Honestly, what I admire about Ryan Garcia the most is he is not a racist. That's what I admire about him the most. Because let me tell you something. It is extremely rare to see Mexicans showing support of justice for George Floyd or any other black person that was murdered by the police. Because Ryan Garcia, he goes out of his way by going onto his Instagram and posting things like justice for George Floyd, etc., etc. So with that being said, Ryan Garcia is a good-hearted person. But when it comes to the decisions that he makes in the sport of boxing, I'm not going to hold any punches when I say this. He is doing himself and he is doing the sport of boxing a huge disservice. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you don't tell people, get their mouths all watered for a great fight, telling everybody, oh yeah, it's going to be an epic fight. You're sitting over here, you're telling Tank Davis, man, you better not run. You better not run, Tank. Don't get scared when you see what I did to Luke Campbell. You know, you better fight me. If you don't fight me, your career is going to be over, etc., etc., etc. I mean, he was making it seem like Tank Davis was about to have an anxiety attack and pull out of a fight. That's the way he sold it, right? So you can't say all of these things and then back out of a fight. You just can't do it, right? And then with the whole Manny Pacquiao situation, see, this is why it made no sense. Because if you knew that you had these 2 great potential fights, these options, if you will, right? and you knew that the Manny Pacquiao fight wasn't a guaranteed signed deal, why didn't Ryan Garcia leave the options open to use Tank as a backup plan just in case he did not get the Manny Pacquiao fight? Why didn't he do that? And the obvious answer to that question is he didn't do that because he obviously never intended on fighting Tank Davis in the first place, right? Now, once again, here Ryan Garcia is saying that, you know, he would have slept Devin Haney, but once again, no follow-up. No, you know what? I want to go ahead and fight the champion when Ryan Garcia is Devin Haney's mandatory. I mean, guys, who does that? Who becomes a mandatory? You become the #1 contender for a title shot, and then once the champion is giving you the shot, you take a step back. I mean, who does that? Well, actually, I can answer that question. Jaime Munguia, he's also done it. Jaime Munguia, for those of you guys who don't know, he's Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade's mandatory right now. And he turned down the title shot, and he's trying to fight other people instead of fighting for the title shot that he actually earned. Also, Canelo Alvarez, for those of you guys who don't know, when Canelo Alvarez was at 154, he had no belt. Andrade was the champion. Andrade was calling him out. And did you guys know that Canelo Alvarez, he was Andrade's mandatory? And Canelo turned down the fight. So I guess I should say outside of Ryan Garcia, Jaime Munguia, and Canelo Alvarez, who does that, right? Ryan Garcia is in a hell of a pickle right now because he's coming off of this battle with his anxiety. And now the question is, where does he go from here? He's talking about sleeping certain fighters, but is he going to fight them? Is he going to call out Devin Haney next? Is he going to go back to his original plan where he told Mike Tyson and the rest of the world that he has to fight Tank Davis? That's his main goal, his main mission, because he was bullied as a kid and Tank Davis reminds him of the kids that bullied him. Is he going to go after Tank Davis now? Who is he going to fight? Is he going to fight Rolly Romero? Who Rolly Romero has been telling people that he's going to be fighting against Ryan Garcia. Is he fighting Javier Fortuna? And also, will Ryan Garcia be the same fighter? Or at least will he have the same confidence he had before he got dropped by Luke Campbell? Or did that even make him better? There's a lot of questions to be answered when it comes to Ryan Garcia. After this whole stunt of anxiety attacks and him temporarily, leaving the sport, and now he's right back to talking about making a return like a couple weeks after he said that. I mean, this is extremely bizarre. I've never seen anyone say or do something like this in the sport of boxing. So I'm really curious to see what direction Ryan Garcia goes from here. When is he going to fight? And who will he fight next? Because I'm telling you guys right now, the way Javier Fortuna had looked against Robert Easter and the way he looked against his last opponent after that, that would have been a very, very difficult fight for Ryan Garcia. And I wonder if Ryan was really aware of that. That would have been a hard fight for him to win. So, it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com. Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Hello, my name is Dominic. I just got my procedure done here at ScalpCarolinas. I was recommended by Dontaesboxingnation, and it's real. Here's the results. The brother out here, Brother Enoch, is real, and it's a very, very, very good recommendation. I recommend it. 4 hours, you in, you out, and it's the rest of your life.
So if anyone in the world wants this hookup, make sure you contact my man Enoch at 704-499-3471 and make sure to follow him on Instagram.